UFC Fight Night Barboza versus Murphy takes place this Saturday, and we've got your full card breakdown coming up next. Betting with DS, all that kind of shit. It's going to be a fun time. Is it the best fight night in the world? No, I say that all the time, but it's not. But we're going to have some fun anyways. Stay right here.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm your boy DS, and that is your boy DBB.
I'm his boy DBB. That's my boy DS. DS, how you feeling on this wonderful, what is it, Wednesday night? It's Wednesday night.
I'm feeling just dandy, my friend. I'm ready to get into this casual little fight night shindig that we've got going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shindig for sure. Couldn't have said it better myself. Is it the most exciting shindig? No. It's one of those parties where, like, you know, you go there, you stand in the corner for a little bit, texting and shit, and then, like, you know, it depends on how the night's going, right? You have like 3-4 drinks, all of a sudden you're having fun. But if you just keep it to like that one drink, Dino, maybe 2 drinks, you're like, dude, this party fucking sucks. I hate this shindig. You get the fuck out of it. It's one of those. So we'll see how the beginning
I've ever had 2 drinks at a party in my life, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's 0 or 100 for me. So I'm with you, brother. We've been to a lot of shindigs together.
We've had our fair share of shindigs, that's for sure.
We've shundug before, man. We've
shundang and shundug. Yeah, we've seen all kinds of things now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah. many things are coming to mind. But let's go blaze through this card. First of all, let them know, like and subscribe, smash the little bell and button and all that stuff.
You want me to do the shtick for the shindig?
Yeah, but I'm not trying to ring no bells, bro.
Okay, guys, look. He doesn't want to ring the bell today. If you guys are avid 10-7 viewers, you know what you're missing out on. He's so upset. Look at him. He's sad. He's angry. And you know why he's angry? Because nobody's fucking following us on TikTok. We don't check TikTok, but there's no fucking followers. 3 followers.
I feel like that's the plight of every, like, 17-year-old, too, right now.
I'm saying, right? We're trying to be fucking popular. But, you know, I guess millennials just really aren't on TikTok like that. Or if they are, they're doing, like, pottery and, like, weird ass shit. We're just here fucking watching fights just on some violent shit. But anyways, guys, if you guys want to cheer DS up and you want to hear him do that bell, which is it's so fun. It makes my fucking day. If you guys want to watch DS do the bell, then just like and subscribe and ring the bell. Then he'll do the bell for you. And then follow us on IG and follow us on TikTok at the 10-7 MMA, the same way that it's spelled on this very channel right here. Just spell that. Type that into your Instagram search bar and we'll come up. It's our logo. We got cool pictures with us and fighters and stuff as DS coughs. That's all I got to say, DS. Let's get into this fight night shindig and let's get the ball rolling.
Let's do it. First fight of the night, we've got Emily Ducote. She's taking on Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos. What do you think?
I pressed thank you for watching. That's for the end, guys. Ignore that. Emily Ducote versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Lil Monster. Look at Dino. I'm rusty. But anyways, let's start with Emily Ducote. She's a volume striker. She's constantly moving forward. She does a good job at mixing it up on the feet, man. Pretty impressive. I like her combos. She for sure holds an advantage in this fight in the stand-up. 100%. But this is a striker versus grappler matchup. When it comes to the grappling, nothing really special at all, man. And she's definitely less experienced than Vanessa Demopoulos on the ground. She's less talented on the ground. Vanessa Demopoulos, on the other hand, on the feet, we know what her whole shtick is, right? It's like a car crash. She comes forward. She's aggressive as hell. She's not technical at all on the feet, but she throws big shots, and she does that to look for the takedown. On the ground, good control. She's heavy on top. She's short. She's stocky, so she does a good job at keeping her opponents there. She's also really damn flexible, Dino. Impressive jiu-jitsu, good sub skills. Both of these girls have good enough cardio, so I don't see that being too much of a factor in this fight. I think both of these girls have a distinct advantage somewhere. And it's on the feet for Ducote, and it's on the ground for Vanessa Demopoulos. Look, I just think that when it comes to who can make up that ground a little more in the other person's expertise area, for me, it's Vanessa Demopoulos, man. And I just think it's because she's so wild on the feet that she may, I don't want to call it lucky, but she may end up catching Ducote and working that into a takedown, man. So, look, she's been hot. She's been winning. The UFC kind of likes the girl. So, yeah. I'm going Vanessa Demopoulos. I expect her to get a decision win.
Yeah, I mean, you broke it down very well, man. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. A volume striker versus she kind of, I mean, Vanessa Demopoulos kind of fights like a wrestling based, like standard male fighter. I feel like where it's just like mixing in the takedowns, you know, landing some damage on the ground, and then just kind of swinging big shots.
Yeah.
But she's grown on me a little bit. Yeah, I just think she's gonna be able to get it to the ground at some point and do some damage. I don't think it's gonna be the most exciting fight. I don't think it's the most high level fight, but I think she'll be able to do some damage on the ground and just kind of outpoint her, man. Yeah, and especially at the odds plus 220. I mean, I'll take those odds all day. You know, I think it should be pretty much a pick 'em. Demopoulos has grown on me a little bit. I don't know if the cardio is maybe a question with her. I was kind of thinking about that. Decote might have the better cardio, but honestly, I think Vanessa Demopoulos wins the first 2 rounds. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna go Vanessa by decision.
All right, little monster, and then maybe we'll get her jumping into whoever is announcing's arms. It's always a pretty fun moment when that happens.
Hopefully, it's Laura Sanko.
Hey, yo, okay.
Right. All right. Next fight on the card is Alatang Lee. He's taking on Clayton Rodriguez at bantamweight. Of course, this is an interesting fight, man. I expect it to pretty much stay on the feet the entire time. If it's gonna get to the ground, I guess it's probably Alatang Lee that gets it there, being that he's the better wrestler here. The jiu-jitsu advantage probably goes to Clayton Rodriguez. You know, he's got that standard kind of, you know, Brazilian Muay Thai style, right? And then he's got some good submissions too. He throws a lot of kicks. He's crisp with his striking, but I don't know. Sometimes he just doesn't make the best decisions, and he's been a little bit disappointing, I would say, thus far in his career. I expect this fight to stay on the feet, man. Alatang Lee is more of a counter striker than anything else, but he does throw with a lot of power. He does have some knockouts. He's got good power. So it's going to be interesting to see. I expect Clayton to be trying to put the pressure on, but I do expect Alatang Lee to land some nice shots as well. The cardio, I mean, I feel like Alatang Lee might have the better cardio here. It's kind of hard to say, but, you know, with the big movements that Clayton Rodriguez uses, it's tough, man. I want to pick Clayton here, but I feel like Alatang Lee could be like another trap fight for him, kind of, you know? Yep. So I'm taking another underdog here. We'll see how that goes for me. I just think that Clayton's going to be putting on the pressure. Alatang Lee will eventually catch him with some big shots. Clayton Rodriguez, you know, how's the chin? We're not, you know, I don't know personally. So I'm going to go Alatang Lee. I'm going to go close fight, but I'm going to go Alatang Lee by decision here.
All right. I don't hate it, man. Look, and you mentioned Alatang Lee being a very powerful counter striker. And, like, you know, it is what it is. That's exactly what he is. Like, when you're watching him, you won't mistake him for anything else. The weird part about it, though, is he is a grappler at his core. He's a wrestler, but the guy never uses his wrestling anymore, Dino. And
yeah,
it's just one of those things, man. And we've talked about this, you know, for a bunch of fighters when it's those wrestlers that kind of fall in love with their hands. I don't really like that, man. It's like you shouldn't stray away from what got you here. But, you know, he is a good fighter, man. And then Clayton Rodriguez, yes, I do think he'll be the more aggressive fighter here as well. But again, another guy that I think is a pretty defensive fighter, a counter striker. Not saying he isn't dynamic, because he is. Not saying he's not powerful, because he is. But he is another guy that's patient on the feet, and he likes to, you know, he likes his opponents to basically come towards him, and he likes to be the counter striker. So on the feet, I see this playing out as a chess match. Yeah, on the ground, I don't really know who the advantage is for. You would think Alatang Lee with the wrestling. Clayton's got some solid jiu-jitsu, as you mentioned. There's not too much to go off of for me here. But, well, I'll say this. Alatang Lee has disappointed me with just low MMA IQ, man. So just for that, and, you know, Clayton's a little bit of a my boy. I'm going to pick Clayton Rodriguez. I think it'll be a fun fight. I'll go UD for Clayton Rodriguez.
Okay. Yeah, I don't dislike it, man. It was super close for me. I almost went with Clayton. So, yep. And I think it's very 50-50. So
should be fun.
Yeah, well, it should be. I could see a world where it's not.
Yeah, 100%. Or they're both just standing at range and just not doing anything, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially the first round. I can totally see it going that way. So, moving on. Next fight, third fight of the night, Pinheiro Rodriguez taking on Ariane Carnelossi. What do you think about this one?
All right, let's start with Pinheiro Rodriguez. Look, Pinheiro Rodriguez, some really clean striking. She's got really good combos. She strings them well together. And she does a really damn good job with her jab. Like, I really, really like her jab. It's one of those things, like, it's not a special weapon because it's a jab. Everybody should have that, right? It's the most basic punch in boxing or in MMA. It should be, and it's underutilized in the sport, to be honest. But she does a really damn good job with setting everything up with that jab. I like that for her. In the grappling, I think it's a huge advantage for her in this fight. Ariane Carnelossi. Geez, what am I saying? Ariane Carnelossi. She looks like she'd be a wrestler, but she's really not, dude. She
kind of looks like Lex Luger.
Damn, that's a watch. Shout out to Lex Express. That's a throwback right there. But yeah, like I said, I expect Piera Rodriguez to be the much better grappler in this one. Ariane Carnelossi, she's a brute, man. She's got a ton of power. You can tell what she fights like just by looking at her. The striking technique isn't anything to be admired. It's not technical at all, but shit, there's some power, and she sometimes makes it work for her. In the grappling, she's only as good as her strength allows her to be. So, my breakdown should tell you everything you need to know. I think that Rodriguez is a significantly better fighter when it comes to the skills. I think she gets this fight. Do I trust her that much? No, not really. Lower level women's MMA, but I'm going to take Rodriguez here with a unanimous decision. That's 3 in a row, by the way, decisions for me to start this card.
Yep. And me too. I fully agree with you. I think Piera Rodriguez is probably going to be better everywhere here. Cardio's probably better. She has a little bit more experience. She has a little bit of a better record. Her striking is definitely cleaner. Like you said, love the jab. Ariane Carnelossi, the only place I think she really has an advantage here would be in the pure power, the pure strength. Even in the grappling, like you said, she has a big disadvantage there. So I could see a finish, but Ariane Carnelossi's strong as shit. So I'm going to go by unanimous decision as well.
Let's go.
Moving on. Next fight on the card is Abus Magomedov. He is taking on Warlley Alves. Warlley Alves, when's the last time that we saw Warlley Alves? It was not that long ago. He fought Ikram Aliskerov.
Yeah, he fought in Dubai, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I almost feel like it feels like it's been longer since I've seen him for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Warlley Alves, no matter how you spin it, right? He's got a shit ton of power in his hands, very explosive. He is going to be at a pretty decent reach disadvantage here. 78-inch reach for Abus Magomedov, 72-inch reach for Warlley Alves, and he's about 3 inches shorter too. So I mean, I think that will play a role in this fight. Abus Magomedov, I mean, we know what his biggest issue is. It's his cardio. So, man, this is tough for that reason because I feel like if it goes more than like a round and a half, the odds of Warlley Alves, really kind of swing up. Also, this might be a fight where you might consider watching the line in the middle of the fight and see how that goes for you. Because I could see a world where Abus Magomedov using his reach, using some nice 1-2, some big strikes on Warlley Alves, maybe rocks him in the first round and a half. And then after that, just gasses again, For Warlley Alves, man, I think truthfully, his best bet would probably be to take this to the ground. He's got decent grappling. Abus Magomedov's tall, but I think he's going to be more of a problem for Warlley Alves in the striking than he will be in the grappling. Also, we've seen how bad his cardio has been. It's tough to improve your cardio drastically. I don't see him all of a sudden now, unless he's using EPO or some shit. I just don't see his cardio being amazing, truthfully. Alves, he's got some decent submissions. But more than anything, I think taking Abus Magomedov to the ground and working him and so that he uses up his cardio is probably his best bet to win this fight. I'm really, really close on this, man. I just do think that Abus Magomedov will find a shot at some point. And I think after all that gassing him up and gassing him down, I do think he ends up knocking out Warlley Alves in the second round.
All right, cool. I mean, look, you said a lot of what I wanted to say. Basically, Abus Magomedov, I think, it's hard to just make your decision based off of like one fight, right? And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You're only as good as your last fight. I don't really like that, but shit, man, that was a tough performance for him against Sean Strickland. He gassed out really quickly, and those question marks are going to be there until he proves that it's not a question mark. But again, will we get to that point? I mean, he's going to have the reach advantage, as you said. He is taller. Pure power, definitely Warlley Alves' thing. Warlley Alves is a finisher, man. Both of these guys are finishers. But Warley Alves has shown that he can go deeper into the fight than Abus Magomedov. So, yeah, like you said, the later this fight goes, the more it favors Warley Alves. The submissions, the grappling, you said his best route to victory here is the takedowns, and I do believe that as well. I mean, he's got a submission win over Colby Covington, and a lot of people are saying that Warley Alves, like, you look at the 3-fight losing streak, and at first glance, it's like, man, that's not really, that's not something you want. But shit, dude, it's against Jeremiah Wells, who's been a dog, Nicholas Dalby, who's an absolute dog, and your boy, and then Ikram Aliskerov. So he's losing to some pretty damn good fighters. Look, definitely some question marks as far as Abus Magomedov is concerned. But I'm going to say this. I think he holds the advantage in the stand-up due to his length. He comes from that region of the world, so I think he'll be able to hold his own in the grappling. It's that cardio, dude. So if we don't get there, it's Warley Alves. But if we do get there, I think it's Warley Alves. But I'm going Magomedov, man. I think he finds the shot early as well. I'm going round 1 KO. I think he gets it pretty damn early in this one because I think he knows that he needs to at this point.
Yeah, a win over a decent named opponent would be really big for him. Really big for him and for the division in general. I think that would a dominant win like that in the first round, a knockout over somebody like Warley Alves, I think puts him right back, in the conversation. Not necessarily like title shot or anything, but in the conversation.
You know what's crazy, Dino? Warley Alves, 33 years old. Thought he was a lot older than that. So
both of these guys, to be honest.
Yeah, same age. So shit.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next fight, we've got Tamires Vidal, the Brazilian, taking on another Brazilian and Melissa Gatto. This is a tough one. Is this me or you, by the way? It's me, right?
It's me.
Oh, it's you. My bad. Go for it.
Yeah, I think I'm on this side. That's how I know. Anyways, Tamires Vidal. Vidal definitely the more powerful and explosive fighter in this one. Dino, technically she is solid. It's not the technique that stands out with her. It's the raw power, right? It's pretty obvious. Again, when you look at her, she is a powerhouse, and the power is damn impressive for women's bantamweight. As far as the grappling is concerned, I don't expect her to have anything for Melissa Gatto. As we know, Melissa Gatto, a very decorated grappler. Another thing that potentially worries me about Vidal in this one is her cardio, man. We've seen her look absolutely gassed in fights. Last time out, I don't recall off the top of my head who it was, but she looked really damn tired in her last fight.
Montserrat.
Was it Montserrat Ruiz?
Rendon.
Montserrat Rendon, yeah. Look, she looks like one of those.
She did not look great in that fight.
What is that?
She didn't look great in that fight at all. That was her worst performance by far.
I'm saying, dude. And similar to Carnelossi, she kind of looks like one of those fighters that like is going to gas, It's just like you can tell by looking at some of these people, that's what they're about. She's definitely like a kill or be killed kind of fighter, a finish or get finished type of person. Melissa Gatto, on the other hand, longtime veteran. She's definitely got the advantage in terms of technique on the feet. Again, she doesn't have the power of Vidal, but technique-wise, she is the better fighter on the feet. On the ground, she should absolutely just dominate this fight. She's a really, really good grappler, and if she can get Vidal down and hold her there, I think it's going to be a very long night for Tamires Vidal. I think Gatto gets the takedown early, Dino. I think she gets the takedowns often, and they become easier to get as Vidal gets more tired. I think this is a dominant 30-27 decision for Melissa Gatto.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know about dominant necessarily, but yeah, honestly, I think Tamires Vidal, she's got a lot of power, for the weight class especially. I think it's not quite as much as I originally thought. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't think she's quite as powerful as I thought she would be, or how much you think she would be when you look at her. Melissa Gatto, underrated striking, and I mean, yeah, like you said, I think she's gonna get relentless takedowns for the most part here, and exactly like you broke it down, as Vidal starts to gas, it's gonna be easier and easier. I see a decision 30-27 as well. She just has to be careful not to get caught. But honestly, I also think as she fights Tamires Vidal, she fights women that are higher up in the rankings and just better fighters overall. I think some of her power is going to be negated because some of these, lower level wins, they just simply don't have a good defense, right? Yeah. So Melissa Gatto is not that. She's a veteran. The odds are pretty aggressive here, but I mean, yeah. But yeah, I agree though. I'm going to go with a unanimous decision as well.
Let's get it. That's definitely one I'm not betting, by the way. So, hey, Dino, we got to hit the parlay videos and the betting videos. What's going on? You don't
We
want to
will.
put those. You don't want to put those on anymore,
We're gonna do it this week.
guys. We're gonna do it this week. You heard it
We'll
from.
do it tomorrow.
Look at this. Look at this. I got it right this time. I pointed the correct side. You heard it straight from DS. You guys want his videos, right? So what you got to do to see those videos?
What you gotta do, brother?
Hit the little
all right.
subscribe button. Ring the bell. That's going to notify you when Dino's video drops. And yeah, you're not going to want to miss that because some pretty hot bets on there. Pretty hot bets on there.
Are you done or are you finished? Right?
Look at me just hyping you up, huh? You never hype.
That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit. Anyway, next fight. We've got Oumar C taking on Tucotacos.
Let's go. Hey.
What do you think about this one? Or is this me?
I think it's you.
Oh man. Okay. Well, yeah. We haven't seen a ton of either guy here. For me, truthfully, I don't really know who's the better striker here. The reach advantage is going to be in favor of Oumar. He is undefeated. Is he? Did you find out? Is he the brother of?
I don't think he's Sadabu C's brother. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, for me, man, a big thing here is the 9-inch reach advantage. That's going to be huge. Both of these guys are tall as shit, though, man. Oumar is 6'5", Tucotacos is 6'4". So two big ass dudes. I just think the 9-inch reach advantage is going to play a big, part here. Also, Tucos is taking this fight on short notice. I don't expect the cardio to be great. He's also fighting a very dangerous opponent here. For C, I think the best bet, having watched some of his tape, I believe that his best bet is going to be to just work the takedowns here. He loves getting the takedowns. That's like what he's best at in his game, in my opinion. Yeah, and I just expect him I don't expect this to be a terribly fun fight, truthfully. I think it's gonna be a lack of cardio from Tucotacos, and Oumar C is basically just gonna take him down at will and just kind of hold him there. But he is pretty dangerous with the ground and pound, so I could actually see a finish, maybe raining down some elbows, things like that. But I'm gonna just go with mostly this fight taking place on the ground and Oumar C getting a fairly one-sided decision.
All right, bet. So I do want to start by saying this: Tucotacos. I've actually seen a ton of his fights live, and it's a guy that he's kind of been on my radar. Not that I think he's the highest level prospect, but with that name, he stuck out. And I've seen a bunch of his fights, man. I seen him in Fury a good amount back in the day, in Bellator a little bit, and then I was like, dude, I could have swore that he fought on the Contender Series, and I was looking it up, and I couldn't find it. And then I'm an idiot. He fought on Road to the UFC, so that was his whole Zuffa umbrella thing. But anyways, UFC on the feet, Dino. You said it. Long reach, long body dude. He uses his distance pretty damn well. He's nothing too special on the feet, but he is good. And on the ground, that's where he's pretty damn dominant. He's looking to take this fight. We know what he's about. He wants to ground and pound. You said the ground and pound's violent. It's really damn violent. Once he's able to hold his opponents down, he really starts, letting go with the ground and pound. Tucotacos on the feet, he's all right. He's another one of those well-rounded fighters, like a jack of all trades kind of guy. Good at most things, but not dominant in any one. Tucotacos, not really dominant in any one aspect of MMA. But he's solid. He's fought everywhere. He's fought in Bellator. Like I said, he's fought in Fury, so he can usually hold his own against these guys in the grappling. He's solid. It wouldn't shock me if it turns out that he's the better grappler. I don't think he is. But again, these are two dudes that we don't know enough in terms of high level competition. But we have seen Tucotacos lose to some pretty mid competition. So look, I don't know, and I'd be lying to you if I said I know who the better fighter is here. But the only thing I have to go off is Tucotacos having lost some fights against guys that I think are mid-level competition, and him taking this on short notice. I don't really love that for him. The cardio was going to be a question mark. So, yeah, I'm going with Oumar C, who I don't think is the brother of Sadabu C. But, yeah, Oumar C, I think he just takes this fight to the ground and gets himself a TKO as Tuco starts to kind of wear down and slow down in round 2 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fought with that.
Get it.
moving on. Next fight, we've got Tom Nolan. He's taking on Victor Martinez. Smart.
Hey,
Martinez, Dino Bam Bam.
what do I think? All right. Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez, guys. Tom Nolan, he's a striker. Really good boxing. Really damn crisp boxing. Great power. I've been really damn impressed with the dude's hands. I know that last time we saw him, give me 1 second. I just want to pull up the last fight that he had. Sorry about that. I should be better prepared.
You should be.
Yeah, against Nicholas Mota. He got knocked out like pretty damn quick, but I just remember watching the film before that and being like, man, I'm really impressed with this dude's boxing. Nicholas Mota, for what it's worth, a guy that a little bit of a run right now. So not a bad loss, I guess, on your record. He's going to have the advantage in this one on the feet, Tom Nolan. I could see this fight getting really ugly for Victor Martinez because that's how much of an advantage I expect Tom Nolan to have in the boxing. I love it. And then on the ground, he's been solid. It's really impressive for a guy that's a pure boxer to have some sort of wrestling and grappling skills. I wouldn't be surprised if he could hold his own on the ground if it gets there. Victor Martinez on the other hand, another striker, another guy that's really good on the feet, great technique, sharp skills, decent power. But the thing that worries me here is his chin. We've seen the guy wobbled. We've seen him drop before. And with all due respect, I still think Tom Nolan's the better striker. So 2 strikers here. The better striker to me is Tom Nolan. I don't know anything about Victor Martinez's ground game. I don't think I've ever seen him shoot a takedown or get a fight to the ground. Just a bunch of question marks. So look, I'm definitely going with Tom Nolan. I don't know if I want the knockout in the first Dino or if I want it in the second, but I think it is coming early. So for the hell of it, we'll go Tom Nolan KO round 1.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nolan KO round 1. Same thing. I don't trust the chin of Victor Martinez. I think a knockout is live, though, either side, to be honest with you.
We saw Tom
Nolan knocked out last time by Nicholas Mota. And, I mean, to be honest with you, I was not terribly impressed with Nicholas Mota. I don't think he's that good. But everybody gets caught, So I think it was a little bit of that. I do think that he probably does have the wrestling advantage here, too, which I think will make him a little bit even more confident in his striking. He's much more technical. Both these guys have power, but yeah, I got to go with Tom Nolan here. Pretty confident taking him for a first round knockout.
Damn. Okay. High confidence. I like that.
Not like high confidence, but
I feel you.
You feel me? All right. First fight of the main card. We've got Angie Overkill Hill. I always want to say Overhill Kill.
Overhill Kill. Shout out Will Kill, man. Shout out Will Kill. And she's taking on Luana Pinheiro. Luana Pinheiro cheating ass. I forget now even why I was mad at her. Was it versus the Karate Hottie or somebody? I forgot. I remember she was cheating, pretending like she got hit and shit. I don't like that. I never forget that shit. Overall, she's not bad though, man. I do expect Angie to be the better striker. She has tons more experience. She always puts up a great fight. She's got incredible cardio. Pinheiro does have more power on the feet. We've seen her actually get some knockouts and things like that. She probably has a more interesting style, so she's going to be the funner fighter to watch. I just think Angie is too smart, too much of a veteran. And in some of these women's fights, that really makes a big difference. For me, the only way that I really see Pinheiro winning, I don't see her getting like a knockout or really dropping the shit out of Angie. I just think it would be with the grappling. But again, Angela Hill, really good in the grappling too. So I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't really see a finish for either lady here, to be honest with you. If it would be anybody by finish, I guess it would be Pinheiro by sub. But I just don't really see it, man. I expect her to have the better cardio too. The experience is just, through the roof. She's fought some of the best fighters in the world. I got to go with Angie. For me, Angela Overkill Hill is, not necessarily a gatekeeper, but it's like if you can beat her as a young fighter, you are really good, right? Yeah. So I'm going to take her by unanimous decision here. All right. I don't hate it, man. Look, Angela Hill, as you mentioned, she's been around the block. She's fought literally the best of the best. To me, and I always I drew this comparison a while back, and I like it a lot. I feel like I'm LeBron here. I feel like I'm like lying. But what I'm trying to say is I don't know if I made it up, but I remember at some point thinking this, and I was like, yep, that's it. She's like the female Cowboy Cerrone. That's like,
true.
I love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, on the feet.
That's a great comparison. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's all. Thank you. I don't know if I made it up, so I'm not LeBroning, but
I've not heard it anywhere.
yeah, so I'll take credit for it. Fuck it, I made it up. But look, Angela Hill, man, on the feet, she's awesome. She's really good. Technically, she's awesome. Puts on a pace like very few fighters in the UFC can. Her power isn't that one-shot power, but she has some decent power when she's able to, extend the fight a little bit and kind of use her volume to hurt fighters. She's awesome, dude. On the ground, she's solid. She's not really known for her grappling, but she's good down there. And she does two things very well. She has great get-ups, and she's really tough to take down. So it's tough to take her down, and she's going to get up. What are you going to do with a girl like that, right? Luana Pinheiro, like you said, she definitely has the power advantage, the pure power advantage, more one-shot kill power, but I don't think she necessarily has that. She's just solid. The grappling is her best chance at winning this fight. It would be by sub, I assume, because I don't see a world where she wins a decision by taking Angela Hill down and holding her there, right? So if that's not the recipe, then what's the recipe? Winning a kickboxing match? I don't see that either. We've also seen Luana Pinheiro gas out really badly. That was Amanda Hebos, I think. Like, she was exhausted. She looked terrible in that one. Whereas Angela Hill, her cardio's phenomenal. We've seen her go 5 rounds multiple times. We've seen her go 3 rounds. We saw her just go 5 rounds in her last fight, I believe, or not her last fight, but what was that, Mackenzie Dern last year that she went 5 rounds with? Yeah, so to me, there's just a skill gap in this one. I think besides that quick finish for Luana Pinheiro, just like a random flash KO or a quick takedown and sub, I don't see any way she wins this fight, man. I think Angela Hill takes this fight pretty damn easily. I will also go decision. I don't know about 29-28 or 30-27, but I don't really think it matters. I think she just wins a clean decision in this one.
Yep. I fuck with it. Next fight, we've got Adrian Yanez taking on Vinicius Salvador at 135. What do you think about this one?
I think in my notes it says Adrian Yanez, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, so that's cool. But yeah, Adrian Yanez, man, what happened to him? He was on top of the world. He was the prospect that, honestly, I really, really thought highly of Adrian Yanez. I thought he was
touched up. He got touched up twice.
That's what it is, right? And it's like I really had high hopes for him, man. And then you got to take a little step back, not a little, a decently big size step back when you lose 2 in a row like that. When it comes to the boxing, I know I said a little earlier that I like Tom Nolan's boxing a lot. Honestly, pound for pound, Adrian Yanez is like a top 5 boxer in the UFC. That shit is super damn crisp. The combos are nasty. Cuts angles, throws jabs, good hooks, man. Just filthy boxing for MMA. It's really something to marvel at. I really do think, Dino, that this little downfall that he went through, I don't want to say I really hope it's not the end of Adrian Yanez and we're just having a fall off here, because that'd be pretty damn sad. In the grappling, he doesn't really have too much. That's not what he is. He is a pure boxer. And then on the other hand, we have Vinicius Salvador, another guy who's a striker, long limbs. He uses them pretty damn well. Technically, he's very good. I don't think he's as clean or as efficient as Adrian Yanez is on the feet, but he's definitely no slouch. He is a great striker. In the grappling, neither one of these guys really is a grappler at all. I feel like Vinicius Salvador, being Brazilian, is going to have the jiu-jitsu advantage if we end up taking the fight there. The 2 finishers here, 2 strikers here, and I have to go based off what I've seen. And I don't like to do that whole thing again. Like I said, that's the recurring theme of this episode. You're only as good as your last fight. I don't buy that shit. So to me, I've seen flashes of Adrian Yanez being a top 5 fighter in his division. I don't think I've seen that from Vinicius Salvador. So I'm going Adrian Yanez, and I think he's going to get himself a knockout. I don't know when it's going to come, Dino, and I messed up the camera, but I'm going Yanez KO.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I really nothing else to add. You literally went over all my notes. I think it's going to come down to, like you said last fight, it's a skill difference. I think on the feet here, it will be a skill difference. Vinicius Salvador does have good power for the weight class at 135. So, certainly he's live for a knockout. We've seen Yanez touched up twice in a row. So, maybe the chin is problematic. But like you said, man, looking at the eye test, Vinicius Salvador, who's his one, the one win that he has really in the UFC is against Shannon Ross. And you know how I feel about Shannon Ross. So Yeah, I mean, to me, Adrian Yanez should have a fairly easy fight here. Just needs to be careful not to get dropped. I'm going Yanez second round knockout.
Let's get it.
Let's do that, buddy. Next fight, we've got Ramiz Brahimaj taking on Themba Gorimbo, who we love saying is probably the best name to say in all the UFC. This should be pretty one-sided here, man. Themba Gorimbo, really good fighter. Brahimaj, in my opinion, is fairly one-dimensional. He's got some skills. He's really, really good with the grappling. He's got tons of finishes by submission. But yeah, man, he's going to be at a pretty big reach disadvantage. Let me see. I just had it pulled up. The reach disadvantage is going to be 4 inches. He's got about a 3-inch height advantage too on Brahimaj. The striking, I mean, Brahimaj is just simply not very good in the striking. So, Themba Gorimbo, I almost like, you look at him and like he's got like such a body for like a good Muay Thai fighter, but he's like not special on the feet. I still expect to have a very, very strong advantage on the feet. He's coming off a KO win too, so I think he might be even more confident in his striking. The wrestling, man, Themba Gorimbo might be the better wrestler. Brahimaj has better jiu-jitsu, but a long-bodied guy like Gorimbo, it's just not going to be easy to hold him down. We have yet to see him really struggling on the ground. He always looks very good on the ground. Also, Brahimaj coming off a pretty serious back or neck injury. I forget what it was now, but it was something very serious. He's been out for 2 years, coming off an injury here. How's the cardio? I got to go with Gorimbo, man. I think he ends up getting the finish here. I think he gets like maybe a late first round TKO finish, maybe ground and pound.
I feel you. And look, Ramiz Brahimaj with the back injury, and then lest we forget, he was the fighter that had like his ear like dangling in the octagon.
Yeah, dude.
Remember that? So yeah, pretty interesting. By the way, so little side story here. So I usually speak my my notes for the fights into my phone. So a lot of times it'll have the typos, you know what I mean? Like the little like Apple will suggest words or thinks I'm saying this. Absolute nightmare in this fight with these two guys' names. Unreal. Brahimaj spelled terribly. It wasn't that terrible, but the Themba Gorimbo one is wild. First of all, Themba in all caps, spelled correctly, but in all caps. So that's cool. Bunch of different ones. Like, here's the one I love. You ready?
Yeah.
Themba Gorimbo, translated to hamburger rainbow. That's fucking wild.
That's
hamburger
amazing.
Rainbow. Anyways, Ramiz Brahimaj on the feet. All right, man. Obviously, that's not where he wants the fight to take place. You already said it. He's a grappler. That's his whole thing. Themba Gorimbo, though, like you said as well, really good on the ground, man. Underrated. And a lot of the talk from the Brahimaj bettors and from people in that camp and whatever is that he's going to out wrestle Themba Gorimbo and really just like give him a grappling lesson. And if you watch today's media day, Themba Gorimbo was like, dude, that's not happening. If they like, I don't care what he says. If this is MMA, if he thinks he's going to wrestle me, he's in for a rude awakening. If you didn't see the interview, Themba Gorimbo was like really damn emotional. I guess his coach that's been with him from South Africa, he's been with him for 8 weeks in America training for this fight. That coach's mother passed away 2 hours before media day.
Jesus.
Yeah, so he was like super damn emotional, crying, and he was like just vowed to win this fight for his coach. So he looks serious, man. And for what it's worth, on top of the him just being serious, which doesn't really matter, dude's been on a fucking roll, man. Themba Gorimbo's no joke. I think Brahimaj before the injury had a good shot at this fight, but 2 years off, bad neck or back injury, whatever it was. I just can't trust him in this one. Themba Gorimbo looks like he's becoming a star. So Hamburger Rainbow or Simba Grimble, that's another one.
Ooh, Simba Grimble's great.
So Simba Grimble, man, that's who I'm going with here. I'm confident in him. I'll say Sember by first round KO, spelled Keio for some reason.
Fire. Love it.
Nightmare notes for this fight.
Love it.
But shout out Themba Grimbo. That's an R boy, by the way, right?
It is. He's growing on me, and the rock bottom of house, so I guess that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Fuck out of here, you little bitch. All right, co-main event. We've got Khaos Williams. He's taking on Carlston Harris. What do you think about this one?
Carlston, first of all, two great nicknames here. Khaos, which isn't really his name, and Mozambique, Carlston Harris. All right, let's start with Khaos Williams, man. Although he is the shorter fighter in this one, Dino, I do think he is the better striker. And why is he the better striker? Because he's got the fucking power. We know what Khaos Williams is about, man. He's that one-shot kill power. He's got vicious, violent, disgusting power. I can't reiterate it enough. Power. He's got power. Anyways, the one thing that I haven't liked recently about Khaos Williams, and he hasn't been the same fighter as he used to be just a couple years ago, is he started fighting like almost like more careful, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and I don't like that for him, man. It's like that's
he doesn't
what
have a
got you.
knockout. He doesn't have a knockout since 2021.
And it was the fight with Semi the Jedi where I was just like, dude, like, what are we doing? Like, you really got, like, you gotta go, dude. But anyways, I hope we get to see the old Khaos Williams because he was starting to build a little name for himself. And, you know, he's got a fan-friendly style, man. You go out there, you knock 2-3 dudes in a row out cold. That'll take you super far in this company. On the other hand, Carlston Harris, man, he's really tall-bodied. We've seen some decent stand-up from him in the UFC. He's obviously going to be the longer fighter in this one. As I mentioned, he usually is the taller and rangier fighter. For what it's worth, he is pretty dangerous on the feet. He's also pretty damn dangerous on the ground. Good grappling, good jiu-jitsu. That's where he would shine in this fight if he were to win this fight. I know we say this all the time, and it's super damn boring or cliche, but this fight is really going to boil down to which one of these fighters can dictate where this fight takes place. I think if it takes place on the feet, it's a Khaos Williams fight. If it takes place on the ground, it goes to Carlston Harris. I could see this fight going either way. And Dino, I expect the person that loses this fight, and we say this pretty often, to look bad in this one. I don't think there's really a way that the person that loses this fight can, like, you know, hold their head up high.
Yeah, it's such a clash of styles and strengths and weaknesses. Yeah,
exactly, man. Two very different fighters. I think the cardio can come into play in this one. I think, like, if you're wrestling Khaos Williams, he's going to be tired. If you're standing there and touching up Mozambique and you're Khaos Williams, you're probably going to gas him out with some hard-ass body shots. Coin flip, literally a coin flip fight. I just don't know if I trust in Khaos Williams anymore, Dino. I'm going Carlston Harris. I'll say ground and pound round 2.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think the difference on the ground is pretty drastic. Khaos Williams, obviously, in my opinion, is a considerably better striker, has way more power. Carlston Harris does have some decent power himself, but...
You think skill-wise, Khaos Williams is significantly better than Carlston Harris, like skill for skill on the feet?
I just think when you take into account power and skill and everything, I think there's a distinct difference.
Okay.
Carlston Harris is not bad, though. But like you said, man, Khaos Williams has been fighting a lot more apprehensive. If he does that, I think he's a lot more likely to get taken down. His best is probably to pressure him and try to land a big shot, because I think he absolutely is live for a knockout here. But same thing as you, man. I don't really trust him, and I think if it does get to the ground, Harris has long limbs, and I expect him to get the submission in the second round.
All right, let me ask you this. With Khaos Williams, who's his best win? Take a look at his record, and you tell me who you think is best
I know,
win.
bro. I mean, I was looking at it, dude.
It's Morono, right?
Or Al Hassan, I guess.
Yeah, but that was a really quick fight. I mean, he put him out cold, and he like stiffened Abdul Razak up for like 15 minutes. But
yeah,
you know, like I don't know, man. Like I don't think it's like super high level.
And Carlston Harris just beat Jeremiah Wells. I mean,
Jeremiah Wells, has a win over Impa. Like, I know Impa is no longer in the UFC, but Impa was cut for financial reasons, right? Like, he was 2-2, solid. Like, the Jared Gooden win, like, who cares? It's Jared Gooden. But, I mean, the only loss on that, you know, in recent history was against Shavkat. And who's not losing to Shavkat at this point, right? So,
exactly.
Yeah, tough one, man. But
tough one for sure.
50, but
yeah, this I would not bet either, for what it's worth.
I feel you. I actually kind of like the plus money on Carlston Harris. Not gonna lie, I might play that in something.
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna play anything, I would play that too.
What about video games? I would play those.
Right, or the under. I mean, yeah, I don't expect this to go to. I think it's gonna be by finish one way or another, either by knockout for Khaos Williams or by sub for Carlston Harris.
Let's get it.
All right. Moving on. Main event of the evening. It is Edson Barboza taking on Lerone Murphy. This should be a really fun fight, man. I expect this to be primarily a striking fight. You've got Lerone Murphy, super clean boxing, really great movement overall. And then, of course, you have Edson Barboza, man. I mean, what is there to say about him, right? Absolute legend of the sport at this point. Future Hall of Famer. Would you agree?
Potentially.
But there's at least a case to be made here.
Yeah.
Yes, he's 38 years old now, 38 and some change.
Yep.
So Lerone Murphy is going to be 6 years younger than him. It's going to be a tough fight, man. But Barboza, even with the age, he's looked really good, and we've seen him that clearly he can go 5 rounds and look really good doing it. Both guys surprisingly also have some pretty good ground game. Barboza, I think, has better, more adaptable ground game to MMA and has the better jiu-jitsu overall a little bit. I just don't really expect to see much of that at all unless somebody gets dropped. But even then, I think they might just pop back up. I just think it's going to be a treat of a boxing match. Of a striking match. The boxing of Lerone Murphy, the Muay Thai of Edson Barboza. I just trust Edson a little bit more, man. I think it's going to be hard fought. I think they'll both land some good shots. But I got to go with Edson Barboza here. I think he gets the decision win. I don't think he's quite done yet.
Hey, I like that. Like you said, Dino, look, it is going to be a super fun striking battle. We know Lerone Murphy undefeated, right? And we've talked about this before. Lerone Murphy, not necessarily my favorite undefeated fighter, like the Peruvian fella. I'm skipping Daniel Marcos. Yeah. Daniel Marcos. Yeah. These are just not my favorite undefeated fighters. And I'll tell you why that is the case for Lerone Murphy. I think had Lerone Murphy pushed himself, he could have really been something, man. But the inactivity.
We've been saying that for a while.
Dude, the inactivity has killed the dude. But yes, good boxing. It's a boxer versus a kickboxer on the feet. Edson, as nasty as they come as far as the striking is concerned in the UFC. Lerone Murphy, really damn slick boxer himself. Like you said, same story on the ground, man. Both guys are pretty good there. I don't expect this fight to go to the ground very much. I think we will see some cage clinching. But that's as far as the grappling goes, I think, in this fight. Lerone Murphy's gas tank is a little bit of a question mark, Dino. He does look tired sometimes at the end of fights. And like you said, we've seen Edson Barboza go 5 against Sadiq Youssef not too long ago. And that was more impressive than just going 5 normally because he got 10-8'd, damn near 10-7'd in the first round of that fight. He was out on his feet. He was like, that fight could have been stopped 2 or 3 times in the first. Referee gave him a chance, and he came back and beat the dog shit out of Sadiq Youssef. I think Sadiq Youssef's a better fighter than Lerone Murphy. So if Edson Barboza's doing that to Sadiq Youssef, I have no reason to think he won't do that to Lerone Murphy. And then one more thing with Murphy, Dino, the inactivity, like I said, but shit, we look at it since 2020, Ricardo Ramos, Douglas Silva de Andrade, like decent wins. Makwan Amir Khani, what does that mean? Gabriel Santos, Josh Coolabau, like not really super high level guys. And then you look at the resume that Edson Barboza's had, and he not only has fights against some of the elites, he has wins against some of the elite guys and highlight reel finishes against some of them. So not too damn much to separate, but I think the O goes this time. I think we get an Edson Barboza masterpiece, and I think he finds himself a late finish in this one. I'm going to go round 5 TKO for Edson Barboza.
I like it.
Yes, sir. Decent little card. It's a decent little card. It wasn't the shindig that we wanted, but it's the shindig we got.
We'll take it.
Hey, let's get it.
We'll take it, brother. All right. That's all we got for you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. We'll drop the betting video tomorrow, too. Let us know what you think, and then tell them do all that other shit.
All right, guys. If you guys enjoyed, do us a favor. Click the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell. We want to hear Dino ringing the bell next week. Follow us on IG and TikTok at V107MMA. Bunch of cool pictures with us and fighters and stuff. Guys, no UFC next week, but don't you fret. We've still got you covered because the week after that is the pay-per-view. And Dino, great idea just popped into my head. State of the Divisions, lightweight, 155. We got to drop that next week.
All right, let's do it.
Going into a big title fight. So if you guys are looking forward to that, do all the stuff I previously told you to do. I'm Dino Bam Bam. That right there is DS. We are the 10-7 MMA. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.